Well, welcome back to Taya's Travel Tips. So today we're going to talk about the vaccine exemption for Carnival. So I don't have any experience with any of the other cruise lines. I'm only going off of Carnival because that's what I have traveled on since the pause has ended, and that's one we are getting a vaccine exemption for. So we'll start at the beginning. You booked your cruise. If you don't want to do the vaccine protocols, and now that kids over 5 can be vaccinated, they have not said if they're going to increase or reduce the amount of vaccine exemptions that they're getting or giving, and they have not said if they're going to allow adults that are medically not able to get the vaccine, if they're going to increase their vaccine exemptions for that. But for my group, we are not able to get them vaccinated in time. It is too soon. It was okayed about a week ago, I think. And because it was okayed a week ago, maybe a little bit more than a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, we still didn't have enough time to get our little ones vaccinated. So we're still having to do the vaccine exemption. So we're going to start at the very beginning. What do you do? Well, the first thing you do is apply for a vaccine exemption. But wait, before you apply for a vaccine exemption, there are protocols in place. So if you just don't want to go by the vaccine mandates, or you don't want to have to apply for the vaccine exemption and then go through all the process and rigmarole for that, well, don't apply. Then you can cancel your cruise and get your money back normally, or you can postpone it for a later date when you are more comfortable traveling. So we had a cruise in September where we had one child that was going to be unvaccinated. We ended up canceling her, and Carnival's great. They said it was one phone call. We might have had to wait on hold for a while, but that was it. They said, okay, first person and second person's rate were this, third person's rate was this, so third person's leaving, we'll refund you the third person's fees. So I could have probably fought if I could have gotten a better rate recently for them to reduce mine too, but I couldn't. So we just took her off, and they were willing to give me a full refund or put it on a future cruise. So that's what we did. I put it on a future cruise because I had so many booked. So we applied for a vaccine exemption for our cruise coming up, and we were granted it. So you go to carnival.com/vaccine exemption. You need your booking number, and you select the people that you want a vaccine exemption for. Super simple, super easy. Once you receive your vaccine exemption, you are no longer able to cancel your cruise because they're saying, well, we gave you the vaccine exemption that you wanted. So if you want to cancel it, you have to pay all the penalties and cancellation fees and losing your deposit and all kinds of stuff like that. It's not fun. So if you get your vaccine exemption, that is something you have to think about. So then you got your vaccine exemption. What else is required? You have to have vacation protection or insurance. Now I think it's like you gotta have it covered for up to $10,000, or I don't know all the specifics for that. All I know is if you get it through Carnival, it's covered. So it's about $50 per kid that's unvaccinated. You don't have to add them for your whole travel party, just the kids that are unvaccinated. So we had 2. It was $98 for our 7-day cruise. Then what else? So for anyone that's vaccinated, you have to have a antigen or PCR test 48 hours in advance. So for a Saturday cruise, it's Thursday, Friday, or Saturday morning. You can get your you can get a test done. If you have a unvaccinated child, they have to have a PCR. It's not the 15-minute one; it's the couple-hour one at least. Most of them take longer than that, but it's at least a couple hours. So that one can be done on Wednesday. So we're getting ours done the Wednesday before Thanksgiving because that's when we're going. So we've got a Wednesday appointment for our Saturday cruise. So they recommend you print out your vaccine exemption paperwork. So the email they send you, print it out. Make sure you have a paper copy because you can pull up the email copy, but it's just easier to be like, here's my vaccine exemption. Here's what's going on. Okay, so we've gotten our vaccine exemption. We've gotten our vacation protection insurance. We have gotten our first COVID test. So the next thing, when you get to the pier, if you are traveling with unvaccinated kids, they have to be tested at the pier. So keep your luggage with you. Do not check any bags, because if little Joey tests positive for COVID, your whole travel party gets sent home. So that's one of the reasons why it's so tricky, like flying in right now, because if you fly in, then you don't go on your cruise. What do you do for 7 days? Do you fly home now, but you test positive for COVID? Carnival says they will help you find lodging. They did not say they'll help you pay for lodging, though. They'll help you find a hotel, and that's about it. So, we've kept our luggage with us. We go on the thing, we test, we're good. So then, you're on the ship. You are supposed to wear a mask pretty much everywhere, unless you're eating, drinking, can be socially distanced outside, or you're in a pool, or the water slides, or something like that. So, you're doing that, you're good. Well, what about ports? We're going to Honduras. Can we go play in the free beach? Nope. You cannot do that. The only places you can get off the ship without a bubble tour with an unvaccinated child, and this is something that threw me for a loop, is the only places you can do that, we can get off the ship without having a bubble tour with unvaccinated kids, is Princess Cay and Half Moon Cay. Other than that, they have to have a bubble tour. So instead, the free beach in Honduras, the excursions, I think there's only 2 bubble tours, and they range from $75 to $85 a person, and I was going to have 2 kids and 2 technically adults going on that excursion with me, and it was going to be over $300. There are a couple for Belize, there's a couple for Honduras, there's a couple for Cozumel. We ended up only doing 1 in Cozumel. We're going to see what we feel like on the ship. If you want to do something in every port, there's only like 2 excursions on my cruise for each port. So they said if they're sold out, you can't get off. If they're canceled because of weather, you can't get off. So just keep that in mind. Pay for them early. Get them taken care of. So those are a few more of the vaccine exemption things. So when you are testing getting on the ship, and then you get tested, I think before you get off, those tests are $150 per person. So if we have 2 people, that's $300 that is going to be added onto your Sail and Sign added to your onboard account. Sorry. So that's another rule, regulation, whatever. So back to the beginning. Don't apply for a vaccine exemption if you're not wanting to do what you have to do when you get the vaccine exemption. Second thing, print out your paperwork. Third, PCR, 3 days in advance. Fourth, travel insurance, get it. Fifth, bubble tour. Sixth, keep your luggage with you. All kinds of stuff. Bring extra masks. We bought a box of disposable masks. Our cruise is out of Galveston. We stopped at Buc-ee's. They had a bunch super cheap. We got a box of 50 just to hang around the cabin. Anyway, as of December 10th, I think that was the first cruise that John Held has announced that the Camp Ocean will be back open. So I thought that was cool. So we're getting closer to a normal cruising experience. If I would have known the vaccine was going to be okayed a couple of weeks after our time was up, I probably would have canceled the kids for this cruise and then just rebooked them for our January cruise. But you live, you learn. We will have this experience forever. But anyway, those are the rules that I know about. That is what we are doing. I'll probably update y'all after we get on the ship, but that is what I know. If you have any questions, comment down below. I will try to help you out. Also, the PCR tests are not the at-home ones that Carnival has recommended. Those are antigen tests, and those are great. They're way cheaper than like a random, like any lab test now is going to be. We actually got 3 for the price of 1 for the COVID test, but that is just my opinion. They're a great option. But anyway, keep all your stuff printed out. Anyway, see you next time on Taya's Travel Tips. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you like my content.